Today's episode is a special one. We're joined by Alessandra, an operations manager for a top Melbourne artist and someone who has truly done the work. In part one of the conversation, Alessandra shares her journey from ballet and burnout to identity, anxiety, and the slow shift towards stillness and self-trust. It's honest, grounded, and full of moments that might just reflect your own. Let's dive into the first part of the conversation with Alessandra.
Hi, I'm Britt.
And I'm Amy, and welcome to the Every Season podcast.
We're here for a fun time, not a long time.
Hopefully we're here for a bit of a long time. Hey Britt,
Hey Ames.
would you say you need some assistance when it comes to being more aware of your body?
Why, what have you got?
Well, you can download our free 7-step female body awareness kit and see if it helps
Sweet, where?
in the show notes and on our website.
Also, in order for us to be here for a long time,
Please subscribe to our podcast.
so Les, tell us what season you're currently in.
It's a really good question. I think I'm in a season of being more sure of myself, but also, I guess, still figuring it out. I think, like late 20s, about to turn 30, I think I'm going to a space where I'm more sure of myself, more confident, but also so much more open to the fact that, like, I don't know everything and I'm still going to learn forever and whatever. That's kind of where I'm at.
I love that.
I love that. Sometimes we say the same stuff. I love that. Right on cue. So take us on a little bit of a journey. So like start off from like high school, uni, give us a little bit of an insight.
It's so weird, like, thinking back about what you like. I think, obviously, I went to high school with Ames, but I think through high school, I actually trained to be ballerina. So from the age of, like, 3 and a half,
Wow.
3 and a half to probably,
Do,
I want to say,
do, do, do.
yeah, literally that. Ames, let's do it.
Amy.
Go on.
I don't know if they do that.
We kind of do, but
I just remember the shoes. I think
Yeah,
you did.
point
Sorry,
shoes.
I didn't you do some sort? I swear I've seen you dance. Like, did you do some sort
when I
of?
was 16 through high school, I went to not at school. Ew, no way.
No, but like I feel like I don't know.
No, I think that when we were in year 11, I went to America and I danced.
Yes.
And stuff, so probably that. But
Oh
no,
yeah, I remember that.
yeah, that was probably it. But no, from age of 3, pretty much 3, got chucked into a dance class and literally trained 4 or 5 days a week till I was 16 years old.
Did you like it? Can I ask you, did you like it or did you feel like you had to do it?
No, I loved it. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. And I was very petite, very little, like very, just loved it. I loved everything about it. And I was a very shy kid and it really made me not shy. But it got to a point where I'm not very competitive by nature. So that aspect of it was really hard for me. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, I don't really want to compete. Like it's not in me. And I loved school. Like I was a bit of a nerd. So I academically was quite naturally like loved it. And I was like, I either finish high school or I do this full time. And I kind of weighed it up and I was like, I think I'm just done with it. So at 16, just stopped. I danced like casually, but that was it. And then trying to think, high school, I feel like I was a very shy, very insecure person. I think I really, once I hit year 12, I really struggled with anxiety, probably like a lot of people, but didn't really understand that it probably carried through for a long time through my life, but never really knew what that was. And then, I got to year 12 and I was like, I'm really smart and I got a pretty good score and I was just like, I don't really know what to do with that. So I finished high school, went to uni because I thought I had to. I thought like, okay, finish high school, go to uni, study marketing, hated it. Got really bad anxiety and depression, so was very up and down. For probably, I want to say 4 years after high school, was a very up and down kind of person. I probably wasn't very pleasant to be around. I wasn't really sure of myself. I think everything kind of came to a head.
It was like a build-up from like the past
I think I just, looking back, it's so interesting. I look back and I think of my time in high school and just childhood, and I was like, I was so scared that people wouldn't like me. Like, I was so scared of not being cool or thinking, like, oh, people didn't like me, or very, like, kind of hate saying it, but, like, a very people pleaser. Like, I don't want anybody to think I'm like this or I'm like that. I just want everyone to like me, and I don't want to muddy the waters, and I don't want to, like, I don't want to be super cool, but I don't want to be like a loser. Like that very like internalized pressure. And then when I got to year 12, I was just like, I also went on the pill. So I do think a lot of it in year 12 was like, I'm on the pill now, and anything that I've been feeling just came to this head where I was like, okay, like something's not right. Really struggled in year 12. I barely studied and pulled a pretty good score considering I was like not in a mindset to do very well. And I don't know if it was obvious to other people. I don't really know. I think people around me kind of didn't realize how bad it was until it got to 4 years after, and I was like, I can't function like this. But yeah, that's kind of it. But I don't let it, yeah.
I think without diving like too deep, I definitely like I know we briefly mentioned just before about how saying like I think it's fair to say like I guess some people might have not picked it up because I guess looking back and when you're saying that you definitely overcompensated in a lot of ways, where some people would think you might have been super confident or super energetic, but that is that overcompensation of like confusion, you know, external pressures, you know, like you said, there was really in the environment that we were in, it was you go to uni, you know, there's like, no other way, and if you don't go to uni, you're a dropout, essentially.
100%.
You know,
100%.
So I definitely think like that journey, like you said, that 4 years of you know trying to figure out who you are and you know loving yourself and being, you know, that authentic version of yourself, you know, the fact that you eventually got there is phenomenal.
100%.
Before we go on to the next question, like what at that point when it got to, and you don't have to answer it, but like what did you seek help? Like how did you go about?
Yeah, I think I was really lucky. So I turned 18 the year after I finished high school. So I was at uni, turned 18, and I went on a holiday with a girlfriend who's still my best friend. And it's so funny because she's like, I don't really remember it, but I remember being on this holiday and just wanting to go home. Like wanting so badly to go home.
Do Europe holiday, that one?
Pardon?
Do Europe holiday?
No, this was, I went to Queensland with a girlfriend's family. So I went to Gold Coast. It was the year after high school. It was like Easter holidays, and I kept calling my mum and said, I want to be picked up. I want to be picked up. And nothing had like happened. I just was like, I want to go home. And I think I got home and then pretended like nothing happened. And my mum was like, what the fuck are you doing? And so I was really lucky to have really good family, really supportive parents, and they kind of, I think, forced me into help, which at the time I think it was definitely at a point where I was like, I need to be forced or I'm never going to do it. And then over 4 years, like I probably wasn't in the best relationship. I think like then I eventually came off the pill. I was on and off like medication to try and like thing. But I think sometimes too, all of these things, I was just like, I need to let go of all the stuff that didn't serve me anymore and just be like, okay, I need to pare it all back. And I was probably 25, 24 by the time I really was like, I need to let go of so much. So once I let go of it all, I was like, okay, like I am on my own.
You can breathe.
Yeah, like it's just like a weight. I don't know. I was very lucky. Like there's a lot of very serious things that happened that I, like I said, had to be forced into being like, you need to get help and that this can't continue. But just very fortunate. Even my girlfriend Ali, I remember once her just like give me some really hard love, like very hard love, and I needed it. And I was very fortunate to have friends and family around me, and my like Steph and Ali especially. They're still my two best friends, and we're 10 years out of high school. We're still like inseparable. So very, very fortunate that the people around me really rallied around me.
So at that point, like when you were 25, like was it an epiphany? Was it like through the help that you got? Or something particularly happened that you were like, nah,
it's
stuff
very
this.
interesting. Broke up with my boyfriend, got off the pill, just kind of was on my own in the best way. Like, and it's so funny because I was so young. I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I learned so much in the, I'm 30 now, 5 years prior to that. But I think maybe like 23, even 23, 24, and I was just like, I need to be on my own. I can't function like this where, so just being on my own. I know it sounds so cliche, like you need to like be on your own and figure it out, but you're so young. Like you're so young. How do you know who you are until you be on your own?
No, I don't think it's cliche at all, Alo. Like I think like it's I think that's such a great answer.
Yeah.
I think like, if you're not on your own because you found, the right partner, fair enough. But, we'll all go through our own experiences, but I
Yeah.
definitely think you really find your true self, and credit to you as well for realizing that, because, you could have stayed in that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
You could have stayed in those friendships that didn't serve you anymore. And, look at how much you've achieved since then.
Yeah.
If you didn't do that, I mean, there's no point wasting energy on thinking how it would have happened, but you wouldn't definitely be the person that you are today,
I think too, at 24, you do think like, I'm 24, I'm so close to like 30 and blah, blah, blah. But I think I'm like, oh my God, what I've done in the 7 years from 23 to 30 was more than I've done in the 23 years.
100%.
Prior. Like, so it's like, oh, like, yeah, it's so interesting because you do think I'm free and I'm on my own and like, what's my life going to look like? I'm like, God, just you wait, like.
100%. We're always like chasing, aren't we? Like chasing to like get older, but then it's funny when you get older,
You're like, oh,
you want to be younger. Like it's just
It's so true, isn't it? Like, can't wait to be 21, can't wait to be 18, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm about to turn 30.
Then, like, what the fuck did I do?
What can I get done before I'm 30?
100%.
I think too, sometimes I always tell myself, and I say to my partner all the time, like, let's not wish away this time so quick. Like, this time is time we look back on and be like, oh, that was so this and that was so fun. And it's like, I don't want to wish it away. Like, yes, we have big goals and everyone wants to tick things off, but I'm just like, I just want to like be better at sitting in what I'm in right now without being like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Like,
And actually enjoy it.
yeah, because I think you're trying to get to the next thing, which is really good to have goals, but then you're like, I didn't enjoy any of that. I didn't get to soak it up and be like, I'm only 29 once and we only live in our own house once and you only, travel this much once, like for so long in your life. Like you don't just want to like release it so quick. I don't know.
Such a good point. Like, how have you done that though? Because that's so hard. So
It
like
is really
advice
hard.
for people who are, I mean, it's a journey, yeah, but like, how have you kind of constantly reminded yourself of that?
I think just, I don't know, this is really, again, cliche, but COVID, where you had I was a very go person. Like, I hated sitting in my own shit, and I hated, like, if I was home, I was like, okay, let's see a friend, let's go see this, let's go do that. But obviously COVID, and I'm working in an industry that I worked at the time, hospitality, I had a lot of free time. So I always think about, if I could go back, as much as COVID sucked, I really enjoyed just having the time to see my friends all every day and or like go for walks and just like and that's when I'm like, I don't get that time back. I don't get time back to sit on the couch on a Saturday and just read a book, or I don't get time back to go for coffee with a girlfriend. Like, so I think I'm always like, I want to look back on my life and be like, I really enjoyed it. I don't want to look back at my life and wish I worked so hard, which is super important, but also like I worked so hard and then I missed out on so many things that I'm like. And I also think like when you're no longer on this earth, you don't take any of this with you. No one's going to look back on your life and think, she worked 15 hours a day and she, worked so hard, but she wasn't home with her friends and she didn't go out on a Saturday and she didn't go for that walk with a girlfriend or didn't spend time with her partner. Like, I don't know, it's that kind of thing. My partner's really good at being like, bring yourself down, because I'm very like, and he's like, all right, like, let's bring down a watch. I just think, and like even like little things, like my girlfriends came over on Saturday night last week and we just had dinner and sat on the couch and then leave till 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, like I love that. I love that we're still just like girls in high school that want to have a chat and like sit on the couch and just things like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, like from, like you said, you mentioned prior that like throughout this whole journey of your personal growth, you were always a go-getter. You were always, I mean, it's interesting because I forgot that you were a dancer. Would you say that assisted with your work ethic and how hard you worked?
I think yes, because again, I was very lucky. Like my mum would drive me to ballet every night of the week on a Saturday morning. She got me off at 8 o'clock in the morning, picked me up at 5 o'clock. I was very lucky, but I think also my parents still now, dad's in his 60s, mum's almost 60, but still work so much. I think coming from a family that I never went without, but I knew that like we weren't very I guess well off, but I never missed out on anything. And just watching my parents and how hard they worked to give us everything, I think it just sometimes to my detriment, like being like, oh, I've just got to work. But I think that work ethic just is ingrained. And I think working in industry like hospitality from a really young age, and like my dad's in that industry, so is my mum, like being in that industry, you just see a different side of work.
Howdy, it's us again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
Don't forget to download the awareness kit and subscribe to the podcast. Have a fabulous day.